In this video, we're going to talk about the Black Sea. Now, this isn't just any old sea. It's a place where history is literally frozen in time in its oxygen-free depths, creating this incredible time capsule of ancient civilizations. Seriously, from its bizarre, unmixing layers of water to the ghost ships hidden on its floor, we're about to explore one of the most fascinating and mysterious seas on the entire planet. So, here's our game plan. We'll start by figuring out just why it's called the Black Sea. Then, we'll dive into the wild chemistry that literally divides it in two. We'll check out the creatures living life on the edge, uncover the geological dangers and amazing treasures hidden below, and wrap it all up with 5 facts that will completely change how you see this incredible body of water. Alright, first things first, let's get our bearings. Where in the world is the Black Sea, and how did it get such an ominous name? Tucked away right at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, the Black Sea is this massive inland sea. It's a hugely strategic spot, surrounded by 6 countries. You've got Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, and Turkey. And it's basically walled in by major mountain ranges like the Caucasus and the Pontic Mountains. Now, not everyone gets an equal slice of the coastline pie. Technically, Ukraine has the longest stretch, though, a lot of that is currently contested. Turkey controls a huge portion of the southern coast, while Little Romania has the shortest shoreline of all the countries bordering it. And make no mistake, this is no small pond. We're talking about a surface area of over 436,000 square kilometers. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than the entire country of Germany. It's a massive and strategically vital body of water. So why black? Well, there are a few really cool theories. The ancient Greeks, who were used to the calm, friendly Mediterranean, called it the inhospitable sea because its storms were so fierce. Another, more literal idea is that during those insane winter storms, the water gets so dark it just looks black. But my favorite theory links the name to ancient color symbolism, where black just meant north, making this simply the Northern Sea. Okay, now let's dive below the surface, because the Black Sea's most incredible secret isn't what's on top, it's the fact that this sea is fundamentally divided in two, and this, my friends, is where things get really, really weird. The Black Sea is what scientists call a meromictic basin, which is a super fancy way of saying its water is permanently split into layers that never ever mix. The deep water is completely anoxic, which means it has 0 dissolved oxygen. And get this, it's the largest single body of anoxic water on the entire planet. Just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, at its deepest point, just south of the Crimean Peninsula, it plunges down over 2,200 meters. That's more than 2 kilometers straight down. And that depth is so important, because a staggering 90% of the Black Sea's entire volume is this dead anoxic water. Think about that. All the life that we know, all the fish, the dolphins, the plants, it's all squeezed into that tiny 10% layer right at the very surface. But this anoxic water has an unbelievable side effect. Without any oxygen, the little bacteria and critters that cause things to decay just can't survive. This means that for thousands of years, wooden shipwrecks, their cargo, and all sorts of artifacts have settled on the seafloor perfectly preserved, creating a kind of accidental, perfect underwater museum of human history. So, if 90% of the sea is basically a dead zone, what kind of life can actually make it in that thin surface layer, and what sort of unique challenges is it up against? Well, that surface layer is fed by some of Europe's biggest rivers, like the Danube, the Dnieper, and the Don. These rivers pour in huge amounts of fresh water, but, and here's the catch, they also carry a ton of agricultural and industrial pollution from a drainage basin that spans 24 different countries. But even with all that, the oxygen-rich surface is teeming with life, including 3 distinct types of cetaceans. You've got the social common dolphin, the bigger and longer-living bottlenose dolphin, and the super shy harbor porpoise, which is the smallest of the 3 and tries to stay away from people. This delicate surface ecosystem, though, is under constant attack. Pollution is creating dead zones, overfishing has absolutely hammered key species, and invasive species have just wreaked havoc. The warty comb jelly, for example, hitched a ride in ballast water and then just decimated the plankton population, throwing the whole food web into chaos. Now, beyond the biology, the Black Sea is also a hotbed of geological activity. And as it turns out, that means it's a potential treasure chest of untapped energy resources. The tension in this region is, well, it's literal. The Black Sea sits in a very active seismic zone, basically getting squeezed between the Eurasian and African tectonic plates. You can see these major fault lines, like the North Anatolian Fault running along the south, that make the whole area pretty prone to earthquakes. And this isn't just a theoretical thing. Back in 1901, a massive 7.2 magnitude earthquake rocked the area near the Bulgarian coast. It was a powerful and terrifying reminder that quakes under the sea could easily trigger devastating tsunamis for all those coastal communities. But hey, where there's geological chaos, you often find resources. Deep below that seabed lies a potentially massive energy prize. While they're still exploring the exact amounts, some estimates suggest there could be trillions of cubic meters of natural gas down there, making the Black Sea a major future player in energy security. Alright, to wrap this up, let's do a rapid-fire round of 5 final, absolutely astonishing facts that prove just how unique the Black Sea really is. Fact number 1. There's a river inside the sea. I'm not kidding. Scientists recently found a current of super salty water flowing in from the Mediterranean. It's so dense that it actually flows along the seafloor like a river, complete with its own banks and floodplains. How cool is that? Fact number 2, it wasn't always a sea. Back in the last ice age, sea levels were way lower, and the Black Sea was completely cut off from the ocean. For thousands of years, it was just a giant landlocked freshwater lake. Fact number 3, the temperature swings are extreme. The surface water can go from freezing in the winter all the way up to a warm, bath-like 28 degrees Celsius in the summer. Talk about a personality change. Fact number 4. But deep down, it's completely stable. Unlike that chaotic surface, the deep anoxic waters never change temperature. They stay at a constant, cool 9 degrees Celsius all year round, every single year. And finally, fact number 5. It's one of only 4 seas in the world named after a common color, joining the red, white, and yellow seas. It's a fittingly elemental name for a sea of such incredible contrasts. With its perfectly preserved history resting silently in those dark waters, the real question isn't just what we know about the Black Sea, but what other secrets is it still waiting to reveal. Alright? That is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.